So hey guys, today is Tuesday. Been back from the States a couple of days. Still very dehydrated today. Got it this morning, piss was bright yellow, so still dehydrated from the flight. Doing chest today, so I'm going to make sure I get lots of fluids in now. I've already had 2 litres of water this morning and half a litre of coconut water. But I'm going to make sure I carry on getting my fluids in. I've got 2 litres of cranberry juice going in here with me Oblivion protein. So today, training chest, and I want to make sure I warm everything up nice and slowly before I start my workout. So I don't want any tears, especially if I'm dehydrated. Chest is probably the worst one. If you're dehydrated, the chest is the easiest one to rip. I've had a friend who I picked him up in the morning, sort of 8 AM. We hung around for the whole day, and then I actually didn't train that day, but he went and trained chest, and all he had for the whole morning was half a glass of Coke. And that afternoon he trained chest and he ripped his pec completely off, and it was that bad that the surgeon couldn't reattach it. So, and I know for a fact that that was from dehydration. So you know, you learn lessons from yourself through trial and error, but you also learn from other people and their experiences, and that is something I definitely do not want to do, is detach my pec. So we're going to do a big long warm up, lots of mobility in the shoulders, get the stretch on the chest, and then we'll hit flat bench, incline bench, dumbbells, flies, and then finish off a little bit of triceps and do some abs as well. So let's crack on. All right, buddy. Let's get it. Body weight is back up to 168 kilos this morning. So that 17-day challenge I did where I lost 20 pounds has gone straight back on. To the dot, 20 pounds back on. But whatever, it just means I can have some fun taking it off again. Got a special bar that I bench with, and it's an 8-foot bar. I squat with it as well, actually. It's an 8-foot bar. It's only 26mm thick. Basically, the extra length and the smaller diameter of the bar makes the bar whip more, so it creates a lot more core power that you've got to put into the exercise. So it really does strengthen the forearms, the elbows, the shoulders, really gets all the muscles working on the chest. If you add bands onto that as well, that really does sort of overwork the triceps. And what I try to do is I do a week with bands, and the week with bands, it works your triceps more, and then the week without bands is working your chest more. So the theory is, my theory is, that you cannot recover from a heavy session, a heavy session, within 10 days, right? So what you've got to do is you've got to split the muscle groups up. So for instance, with my deadlifting, I will do a week of heavy, a week of speed, a week of heavy, week of speed. And that way I am training the slow twitch fibers and the fast twitch fibers. So it's kind of like the same thing on the bench, apart from what I'm isolating is the chest muscles and the tricep muscles. One's working, one's recovering, and vice versa. So each muscle group in essence is getting 14 days rest between each heavy workout, but I'm still working it every 7 days. So every 7 days it's getting a light workout, then a heavy work, next 7 days a heavy one, next 7 days a light one. So it's all about keeping the muscles surprised, keeping them working, keeping them excited to keep that growth coming. I haven't got my usual bands with me, so I have to try and use these. So we do actually have to lock this bar away. Not only is it a foot longer with the stability, but 2 people have injured themselves on this bar because they just cannot take in that extra whip. One guy detached his abductor squatting with it because of the whip, and then another guy detached his pec using this bar. And it's just because of that extra core stability it makes you work. It's, you know, you're using muscles that you would never use other than using this kind of bar. So it can really shock the system, and you've got to build up your sort of resistance to it. You can't just go maxing out on this bar straight away. You've got to train with this bar for a good few months before you start putting heavy weight on it. That feels about, I would say 55, 60 kilos. So the bands are adding, let's say the bands add 20 kilo right at the top, and obviously it'll be 0 when it gets to my chest. So it's a gradual build up, probably about midway, probably about 10 kilo aside. But what this does is, not only are you fighting the AB resistance, you know, the up and down, the bands also put that ABC element to it, so it's pulling it down, it's pulling it up, makes the core strength work a lot harder, and builds a much fuller chest, gets all the muscles activated. Is there a fucking problem? A lot of gainers, yeah. What are you going to work up to today? I mean, first I just want to acknowledge that today is Dave's birthday.
Thank you very much, Ed.
60. Happy
50, 50, let's just get this right, 50.
50 years old. And he, got to say, mate, you look very good for your age.
Thank you very much, Ed.
You don't look a day older than 71.
Oh dear, I don't know what to say to that. I can't argue, can I?
Right. With the bench, because I've got the bands on, makes it quite a bit harder to get up towards the higher weight range. I mean, forget the bands are on. Ideally, I want to be getting up to sort of 200 kilo for 5-6 reps. I've always got a 6 rep rule of thumb, right? Especially for these sort of exercises, squats, bench. It doesn't really work for deadlift, but basically my theory is that if you can do 6 reps with a weight, and to me that means you can add 10%, and you should be able to get a few reps out plus 10%. So if I hit 6 reps of 200, then that means I can go up 10%, I'll put 20 kilo on, and I'll try and hit 6 reps of 220. I will never go above 6 reps on the high rep ranges unless, I'm leading up to a contest. It's good to get high reps in, no more than 8 to 10. It's sort of a maximum, especially with heavy weight. But that's only if you're leading into a contest that's got a lot of like repetition. You know, how many reps can you do in 60 seconds? It's always good to get about 10 reps in for that reason. Usually takes you about 60 seconds to do 10 reps of most things, you know, overhead or a log or something like that. So If you don't hit the 6 reps, so if you only do 5, that means that you put it back, you put your weights away, and you go and do something else. Because if you come back down the ladder or try and do more reps, do another set, all you're doing is in my opinion, is ripping the muscle too much, and then you don't recover, you can't repair as much. You know, you're actually going backwards. So never ever go past sort of 6 reps on a heavy set when you're trying to build muscle mass and strength. I've got to say, because of the detached bicep in this arm, it does feel really, I would just say weird, you know, bringing it down. You just feel this arm isn't as stable, and pushing it back up, it just feels like this arm's lagging a little bit. The bicep's a big stabilizer for overhead and benching, so just something I've just got to get used to, maybe strengthen the other muscles around the bicep, which is really good that I'm doing this sort of exercise with the whippy bar, because it will build those muscles up really quickly. What happened, Willie?
From Nottingham, I've only come down for one session, like.
Nottingham?
Yeah, Nottingham.
Heading there tomorrow. Alright, buddy.
Nice one, mate.
Take care, man.
Nice one, pal.
The secret to my success is, finally going to unleash the secret now. What you got to do is wank into a cup and neck it back like a shot glass every day of your life, at least once a day, and you'll look and be just like me. Okay?
Yeah, it's just like.
I think that's right on the limit. I did my 6 reps. I think that's right on the limit, man. If I did 10% more, 220 with the bands, we're looking to a 260 bench right at the top, 220 at the bottom. I think just with the injury and having not trained chest for a few weeks, it's best just to leave that there. I don't want to risk any injury, so we'll move on to incline bench now and do the same again. A bit more resistance on this one. A few kilo there. About 40 kilo there. Never felt 100 kilo feel so heavy. That was a tough 6. I'm going to add 20%, so I'll add a plate side, fuck it. Still aiming for that 6 rep range though. Whether I'll hit it or not is a different matter, but that's the whole point. So keep it under that 6 reps. I'm building mass and strength. So this will be my last set, definitely. Ooh, right. It's definitely going to be the last set. Aiming for 6. I say, it's not the end of the world if I don't get 6. It's a working set. Oh, shit. Oh, fucking hell. Oh. Ow. I think those bands. I did.
At least 100 each.
At least 200 kilo aside. No, I'm gonna say. Jeez. I'm gonna say 30, 25 kilo aside, I think is definite. So, geez, what we're looking at there? 180 plus 50. So 230. Bar weight's 25. So 235. 235 for a few reps. That's what I do without the band. So it's about right. Right, that's my working set done. I think with the best part of an hour to get flat bench and incline bench done, but it's chest is ripped, feels sore. You know, the damage to the mass, the bulk of the belly, the muscle is done. So now it's just all about getting the assistant stuff in, getting the pump in the chest. Now it's about actually building the mass. Done the strength work. Now we're going to build the mass, get all the little fibres nice and worn down so they repair bigger and stronger next week. You'll notice with the dumbbells, when I press, I don't bring them into the middle, I just press straight up and out. And that is the most direct way to work the muscle. For anyone that brings them up and touches them in the middle, you're wasting time, you're wasting effort, it does absolutely fuck all for your chest. So, always remember, the best way to get strong and build mass is A to B, yeah? A, B, A, B. Don't fuck around with A, B, C, just A, B. Finding the balance of that really tough on this side because of the bicep. Probably do 80 kilos, slow it right down, make that more working set. About 6 to 10 reps.
Why is everything down to body weight and height with you? You sick fuck. And again.
Faggot. Okay, hold it.
Yeah.
Good guys. Oh, that was wank. Leaning over on the bench like that, so my body was twisted. Whatever, got it done. Alright, this dumbbell's done. So I'm going to do a few flies, pec deck, stuff like that, get a good stretch, get the pump in. This is where we get the volume in now, get the blood through the muscle. There's a good pump on here. The stretch really helps finish off the chest muscles, rip those extra fibers that you're not hitting on the bench and dumbbell exercises. So we're hitting literally a whole chest workout, giving the whole chest a workout rather than just the middle and bottom. We're doing everything. Like I say, this is fucking hurting my arm a lot. Fucking shit. So what I like to do for flies is usually hit about 70 to 80% of your max. Your max being probably, sort of 4 or 5 reps. I can quite easily do the stack on this for probably 8 reps. So I've dropped it down, probably 5-6 plates, pins off. I'm hitting 10 reps, nice and slow and controlled. Look how far back the pins are. And I'm going as far back as I can on the stretch. Really stretching the muscle out, slow and controlled to the middle. Nice squeeze, and then slow back again. It's pointless just getting it and doing this, because then you're only working it that way, you're not working it that way. So to slow everything down for my eyes for building mass in the muscle. Time under tension is the key to building mass. Usually about 3/4 of the way through my training session, I think it's important to start putting protein in, a little bit of carbs as well. So I mean, a litre, I've got lacto-free milk, so it cuts a lot of the sugars out. 33 grams of protein and 36 grams of fat in a litre of milk. Add that with 2 scoops of lean protein powder, and you're looking at a good hit of protein, fats, and a little bit of carbs as well. So you're getting your glycogen stores and everything back in, your carbohydrates, and you're getting good fats for energy to repair, and obviously you're getting a lot of protein in to rebuild. I use Myoband 100, which is basically a very high level protein, low carbs, low sugars, virtually nothing. I just think it's important, people always have the shake after the training session, but why? If you get a little bit of carbs in, you're replenishing, that way you're feeding the muscle for the last bit of your workout, and you're getting the protein in ready to start repairing straight away. I mean, I have protein all the way through the training session. I have it with 2 litres of cranberry juice, so I'm getting a little bit of carbs from the cranberry juice. I'm also getting a very fast absorbing protein from the Oblivion product as well. So I'm constantly getting protein in from the second I get in the gym until I leave. So just as I'm leaving the gym, this will be gone, and then I'll go home, have my dinner. So I'm having another hit of protein and fats and a little bit of carbs as well. Right, let's get back to it.
Yeah.
Something nice and simple I like to do sometimes when we finish the chest session is a nice close grip. Just get on a bench or a hard service and just nice and slow down, nice and slow up, just keeping that muscle firing constantly for around about a minute. So we're going to do 10 very slow press ups. Try this for yourselves. It doesn't look much, but believe me, the chest pump you get from this is unreal.
Come on.
Oh my god. So it doesn't look much, but it's a great way to finish the chest off and also get a lot of blood into the triceps as well. And we're going to hit triceps after this, so it's a nice way to warm them up, ready for a good thrashing. Just to show you guys how much of a pump this does give you, I bet I can get the chest to turn blue. Oh, it's literally like the wettest t-shirt ever. See all the little strands going in the chest? That means it's working every muscle group, gets everyone. So 2 sets on that's enough. So for me that's chest done. We've done three main sort of mass building, strength building exercises, and then we've done the reach back pec deck, and we've done 2 sets on this, 3 sets on the pec deck, 2 sets on this. That's plenty. We'll finish off on some triceps now. As I said, because I did the band work on the chest, the triceps have had a really good workout, so this week I don't have to go too heavy on them. So I'm gonna do 3 exercises of probably 10 to 12 reps, 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps on each one. So let's crack on with that. Walk around with my top off like that. Usual gym bell end. So they're really good for building tricep power, more specifically for the log press. So when you're pressing a log, doing that motion, so we're doing exactly the same, but we're just pushing it down. So I used to do them religiously every single week, especially if I had a log press coming up. I would do them as heavy as I can, 3 sets of 12. And it absolutely smashes the right part of the tricep. Training triceps is tricky. When you're benching, you're using the inside. When you're doing kickbacks, you're using the outside. When you're doing close grip, you're using the middle. There's like such different variations of tricep. And when you're doing log press, that does hit a specific part of the tricep. So that's why you want to train that specific part to carry over to the log press really well. Again, these hit a completely different part of the tricep. You feel when you're doing these, you do it from the shoulder. Bear in mind you're lying on your back. All you're doing is pressing above your head, like that. And it builds a lot of muscle. You feel it really building around your elbow area. So the muscle around here, it really puts a lot of stress on here. So you only need a light weight. But again, you're hitting a different part of the tricep that you wouldn't normally hit. That will transfer over to overhead stuff really well. It's all about that control. Right, last exercise. I always like to work out with what you've got in the gym. And I'm pretty lucky here at Strength Asylum. This has got every piece of kit you could ask for: hammer strength, Nautilus, Life Fitness, you know, all the best stuff really. We've got like 170 pieces of hammer strength equipment, so it's pretty good. So this is predominantly a bicep curl machine, but I like to cheat it, use it the other way. So I use full stack. So full stack and do a single arm. Now this is really just getting a pump through the muscle. So try and keep it nice, slow and controlled. Going for about 20-25 reps. as well. Right, whilst I'm resting in between that, I'm going to do some abs as well. So with abs, I like to hit the bottom of the abs and the top of the abs. This machine hits more the bottom of the abs. And again, abs is a very small muscle, so you want mid-rep range, so I'm going to do about 15 reps. And then straight onto the leg raiser. And for me, this feels it does more the top of the abs. You have to excuse my neck disappearing on this, I look like a turtle. So there you go, 15, 15, top and bottom. I will do 4 sets of that, so that 4 times, 2, maybe 3 times a week. That's plenty, that's absolutely plenty for your abs. I think you just see me work with it. Doesn't have a fucking clue. Oh, this is trying.
Do you like working out under your sign?
What?
Do you like working out under your sign?
I love my sign, yeah. It's pretty special, isn't it? You know. Tell you what, when you win something as big as that, you know, the world's strongest man. Now, I talked to Martins about this after he won his win this year. Martin said, doesn't feel as though it's kicked in yet, you know, like the next day. And it never does. Don't I tell you when it kicks in? The day you lose the title. That's when you realise that you had it. The sort of realisation that I was the world's strongest man and won the title is when Paul won it the year after. And it sort of, you know, I'm not going to lie, it hurts the ego to lose a title like that, it really does. And to have a little reminder like that now and again, it's nice, you know, just makes you realise that you're not the only one that gives a fuck about it. Right. Fuck my life. I think the time's about 1:45 right now. We got in the gym at 9 AM, just after 9. So, done a good 3.5 hour workout here. Done chest, triceps, and finished on a little bit of abs. So I never have to do much abs. Pretty lucky from all the years and years and years of core building. And it's muscle memory. You have to do a little bit and it brings those abs straight back out again. So bear in mind I never trained abs. Not once in those 13 years. That's all been built from core strength exercises, squats, deadlifts, yokes, farmers, etc. So, whew, that's a hell of a session. I hope you guys have took a lot out of this. I'll be back in a few days. I think the next session will be a back and shoulders workout. I've got to do 2 sessions in one day because I am going down to London on Friday to do a big interview for the London Reel, and also heading to Wembley for the Giants Live Wembley event where they're doing the World Deadlift Champs. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the channel, click on the button, but in the meantime, be awesome. Big love, the beast. See you later.
I'm a motherfucking beast!